Hey, what's going on with you? Ken Beckford here at Flat Earth Brooklyn Live, and I want to answer a question, right? And that question was posed to me today, and that question was, what does it matter, flat or round Earth, right? Flat or globe Earth? And there are a couple of things that I wrote down, okay? Because there's so many things that to me matters when it comes to this, but a few. I'll share a few of them here, right? All right. So I wrote down, why does it matter? All right. The first thing that I wrote down was 50 million per day, right? And that's a low number. 50 plus million. I don't know if it's 51, 52, 58. Because I don't try to keep up with the stats exactly like that, right? But this is what NASA, to my belief, gets from the public in taxes, gets from the people in taxes to fund what it is that they do. Okay. Yet I find that it's ironic that we have no real photos of Earth from space from NASA or any of the government companies or otherwise. Right. We have no photos that are real. Right. This is a fact. Okay, not in the 60 years of NASA, 70 years. I'm not sure how long they've been in existence, or any other company. No, they have never shown us real picture. They always show CGI, some type of cartoon or something to that effect. All right. Other than that, and why does that matter? Because don't we have people that are starving out here, homeless, hungry? Not educated properly, not properly resourced here in the United States? Could $50 million, could half of that money be of any value to the people of the world who are struggling, starving, displaced, not properly resourced? If so, then should we or could we not make a case to say that we should research what NASA is doing a little bit more closely, since they are supposed to be doing things that benefit the people, or if they're a government company? All right. Next thing that I have here is that, okay, yeah, I said that there's no legitimate photos of the place we inhabit from this so-called space, right? Okay, so I said that to me should be reason enough, right? Also, NASA's records, if I'm not mistaken, says that the Earth is a flat and a movable plane, that they utilize their measurements on how to navigate through the air above the plane in their vehicles based on what is an immovable, non-rotating Earth, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so this again, you research on your own, find out if this is true or not, right? Next thing that I have here is that if I look at Earth, right, from above on the UN map, right, the UN map is basically a flat map, okay? And if you look at Earth from a flat map and sit a plane on that flat map, right, and lift the plane up above the air, above the Earth, it will sit flat in the air, still above the plane, and then when it lands right flat down. It never goes upside down over a curve, right? Now that neither does the horizon curve, right? The prefix of horizon is hor, right? Horizon, right? Horizontal, right? No matter how high we go up, we never see a curve over the horizon. That's something else, right? Okay, so back to the UN flag. The UN flag, I brought that up, right? The UN flag has a flat map on it, right? There are many maps out here. I call it a flat map for sure. You could call it the AE map. You can call it the Gleason map, but that map is an actual map that is used for navigation. Why do they have a flat map and not a globe on the UN flag? And the UN is also responsible or part of it, and the Antarctic Treaty, which has Antarctica sealed off or closed off in many parts. We as the people cannot just go to Antarctica and do our own research to find out anything, whether the Earth is flat, globe, or whatever. Okay, so why is that? And the company that's around that has a flat map. Okay, the Challenger mission was fake. according to my understanding. There are people who are still alive who were supposedly died on the Challenger mission that was set to go to the moon. That was to prove that the Earth was a ball, right? Because in '69 they said that the Earth was a ball, yet we find that they didn't really go to the moon, unless we believe they went to the moon, but we still don't really have proof because they have so many conflicting stories as to what happened, as to what happens. And today they say that we can't go because we can't get through a certain particular part of the atmosphere or the stratosphere because we don't have the technology. Yeah, we had the technology in 1969. That doesn't make sense to me either. I sense something fishy about that. Okay, so those are the things that I feel are key. And one last thing that I would say is that the globe has a sticker on it. Go to any store where they sell globes, or look at globes if they are around you, and pick them up and lift them up and look at the bottom. On the bottom, it would most likely read, like on the sticker, like on the bottom of this book, it would read, not for educational purposes, okay, for decorative purposes only. Okay, so they're trying to make sure that they don't have any bad karma on their hands, trying to tell you that, because they're not trying to tell you that, they're telling you that this is what the Earth looks like. So I never found that out from my mama. I went to school where they taught me a bunch of stuff that isn't true and continue to perpetuate stuff that isn't true. I just watched a TV show a couple of days ago where they're indoctrinating children, telling children that there are planets that rotate around the Earth, rotate around the sun, and that Pluto doesn't exist anymore, or doesn't exist as a planet anymore, and there's a different kind of a planet called a dwarf planet. And all of these things are just man's perception or man's teachings that they want to promote. But what I've come to find out, with the Earth really being like a flat plane, that it was created, that there is a creator, right? The Earth must pass over her eye zone every day. The sun must pass over her eye zone every day, right? The center of the Earth, right, on a flat plane, so that the Earth can continue to provide more life, it seems. Okay, I'm not 100% sure, but it seems like this is what's happening. It seems like this is a constant chain of events that happens, or we're in a constant flow of energy, right, with two celestial bodies or more that are above our heads rotating or making some kind of pattern while we're on a flat plane, right? An airplane goes like this, right, up and flies and comes down. It never goes over a curve. You never can look this way and see a curve, that way and see a curve. Anywhere out here and see a curve. You see hills, you see valleys, you see peaks, you see rivers, but those things don't make the horizon curve, right? Water always finds its leveled, right? It's never a curved ocean, okay? So when we look at those things, and when we look at ancient teachings, and when we see that the sundial was used on a 360 degrees, why would we go from perfection? Obviously, the Creator knows what they were doing, knew what they were doing, and man has tried to change the way we believe or the way we think for its own reasons. But I tend to now believe that it makes more sense to trust my senses and know that I'm working on a flat plane up the block from Flatbush, and that's just what it seems to be for me. So like I said, if they're telling the truth, then let them keep making and taking more money, $50-60 million to go and travel in space while people starve. But I don't believe that they ever went to the moon. I don't believe that they're in space. I don't believe that the ISS footage is real. And the reason I don't is because if you ask them to show us other things, like take the ISS and turn it around and show me another planet, show me a star, show me the Earth, zoom in, do other things. Show me somebody going in and out of the ISS, okay? There's too many holes in the mix, and I don't want to make this video longer than 10 minutes. I didn't even want to make it 10 minutes, but, and again, the money's, and, it only matters to who it matters to. But if I know the Earth is flat, what matters next is getting back to culture, getting back to living life in the right way, getting back to doing things the way they're supposed to be done. That's what matters most. And so I hope that answers your question. All right. Ken back for Brooklyn, New York's own. Had the best day ever. Peace.